Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS and Washington Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news. When we talk about the Washington Commanders, it's impossible not to feel a sense of excitement and anticipation. This team has been on the rise, and the energy around DC is palpable. Last season was a roller coaster, full of ups and downs, but one thing is clear: the Commanders are building something special. They showed resilience, fighting hard in every game, and although they fell just short of the Super Bowl, the foundation is in place for a serious push in 2025. And as we watch the NFC East evolve, one thing is certain: Washington is positioning itself to be a major player once again. But of course, it's not just about what they have now. It's about what they can add, what they can improve, and how they can leverage the remaining pieces of the puzzle to take that next step. Now, let's focus on a critical area where the Commanders could see a real boost: pass rush. Historically, some of the most dominant defenses in the league have been built around a relentless pass rush. And while Washington certainly has some talented players, there's always room for improvement, especially in a division as fierce as the NFC East. Last season, Washington's defense was solid, ranking in the top half of the league in sacks, but if they want to take that next step, they need to become even more disruptive. You see, pass rush isn't just about sacking the quarterback. It's about applying pressure, forcing mistakes, and creating turnovers. That's the kind of impact that can completely change the course of a game. And this is where the free agent market could play a pivotal role. In particular, there's a veteran free agent that many fans have their eyes on: Za'Darius Smith. Now, if you've been following the league closely, you know Smith has been a consistent force on the edge for years. He spent this past season splitting time between the Cleveland Browns and the Detroit Lions. His journey through the NFL has been quite impressive, especially considering his impact when healthy. Despite being 33 years old, when the 2025 season kicks off, Smith has shown that age isn't necessarily a barrier to producing at a high level. Last season alone, he tallied 9 sacks, which is pretty remarkable given the wear and tear that comes with his position. He also registered 35 total tackles, 9 tackles for loss, and 17 quarterback hits. Those numbers speak volumes about his ability to affect the game from the edge. Now, let's take a moment to appreciate what this could mean for the Commanders. Last season, Washington's defense was already pretty good, but adding a veteran like Smith could be the piece that elevates their pass rush to elite status. Remember, the team lost in the NFC Championship to the Eagles, who ultimately went on to win the Super Bowl. That game showed just how close Washington was to reaching the big stage, and one of the key aspects that could have tipped the scales was the ability to pressure the quarterback consistently. Bringing in someone like Za'Darius Smith, who's proven he can rush the passer at a high level, might be exactly what they need to get over that hump. And it's not just about adding talent for talent's sake. It's about strategic moves, building around young stars like quarterback Jayden Daniels, who has already shown flashes of brilliance and could be a franchise cornerstone. Daniels' mobility and arm strength give Washington a dynamic offensive weapon, but to truly unlock his potential, the team needs to ensure that their defense can keep up. A pass rush threat like Smith would stretch the offensive lines of division rivals, Eagles, Cowboys, Giants, and force quarterbacks into hurried throws or mistakes, which is crucial in tight games and playoff scenarios. You see, the NFC East is a division that's always evolving. The Eagles, last year's champions, have set a high bar, but the Cowboys and Giants are not far behind. The Cowboys, for example, have a solid defense, and the Giants are on the rise with a promising young roster. So, for Washington to stay competitive and even surpass some of these teams, they need to make smart, impactful additions. Veteran leadership like Za'Darius Smith could also bring a veteran presence to the locker room, helping younger players develop and instilling a relentless work ethic that's essential for sustained success. But let's talk about the market itself. The NFL free agency landscape is always shifting, and right now, the pool of available pass rushers isn't as deep as in previous years. The good players are getting snatched up quickly, which makes Smith's availability even more interesting. Last season, Smith was relatively consistent, showing he can still be a game-wrecker when called upon. His ability to set the edge and generate pressure makes him a valuable asset, especially for a team like Washington that's hungry for that extra edge. Now, the question is, will the Commanders make a move? Will they see the value in bringing in a player like Za'Darius Smith and making him a part of their defensive identity? It's no secret that the team's front office is always looking for ways to improve, especially after falling just short of the Super Bowl last season. The NFC East is a division where every game counts, and having a consistent pass rush can be the difference between a deep playoff run and an early exit. Plus, with the team's cap space and a clear focus on building around their young quarterback, it makes sense to add experienced veterans who can make an immediate impact. The potential signing of Smith would also send a message across the league. It shows that Washington is serious about contending, that they're willing to invest in the right pieces to push themselves over the top. And in a division as competitive as the NFC East, you can't afford to sit still. Every addition, every upgrade, every move counts. And bringing a player of Za'Darius Smith's caliber to the fold could be a game changer, especially if he can stay healthy and continue to produce at a high level. Of course, there are always questions about age, durability, and fit, but when you look at his recent production and leadership qualities, it's clear that he still has plenty to offer. The key for Washington will be how they structure the contract, ensuring they get the best value while also giving Smith the opportunity to contribute immediately. The coaching staff has a lot of experience working with veteran pass rushers, and they know how to maximize his talents within their scheme. But beyond just Smith, the Commanders are also looking at the bigger picture. They've been cultivating a strong core, drafting well, and developing young talent on both sides of the ball. Their offensive line is improving, and the defense, with players like Chase Young and Montez Sweat, is already filled with potential. Adding another veteran pass rusher could be the final piece that transforms Washington into a truly formidable force. It's about creating a balanced team, an offense that can score with the best, and a defense that can shut down even the most potent attacks. And let's not forget the importance of leadership. Za'Darius Smith has been known not just for his on-field production, but also for his work ethic and leadership qualities. Bringing in someone like him could help set the tone in the locker room, pushing everyone to be better and creating a culture of relentless pursuit of excellence. That's exactly the kind of environment you want if you're aiming for a Super Bowl push. Now, looking ahead, the NFL offseason is always full of surprises. Free agency, trades, draft picks, all of these pieces come together to shape a team's future. For Washington, making a move for Smith could be seen as a statement of intent. It's about showing the division and the league that they're not just happy to compete, they want to dominate. With a talented young quarterback, a solid offensive line, and now perhaps a game-changing pass rusher, the Commanders could be on the verge of a major breakthrough. So, as we keep an eye on this story unfolding, remember that the NFL offseason is where dreams are built, and moves like these can define a franchise's trajectory for years to come. The Commanders are in a prime position to make a splash, and adding a veteran like Za'Darius Smith might just be the move that takes them from good to great. The fans in DC are already excited, and I can tell you, the buzz around this potential signing is growing by the day. If they land him, it could very well be the start of something special, a real statement that Washington is back in the hunt, ready to challenge the NFC powerhouses and make a serious run at the Super Bowl. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Washington Commanders news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. As we wrap up, I want to emphasize that the NFL offseason is a time of endless possibilities. Every move, every signing, every draft pick can be the spark that ignites a team's journey to the championship. Washington fans, you should be excited because this team is on the cusp of something big. With the right additions and the continued development of their young stars, they have all the ingredients to make a deep playoff run and perhaps even go all the way. The defense is hungry, the offense is dynamic, and the front office is clearly committed to winning now. And now, Washington Commanders fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Washington Commanders. Do you think Za'Darius Smith is the missing piece? Are there other free agents you're hoping the team targets? Or maybe you believe they should focus on the draft instead? Whatever your thoughts are, I'm eager to read them, and I'm sure the entire community would love to engage with your insights. Remember, this is a team built by the fans, for the fans, and your voice is an essential part of that. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, rumors, and insights about the Washington Commanders. The offseason is just getting started, and there's plenty to talk about: big signings, draft strategies, training camp battles, and so much more. So stay tuned, stay passionate, and keep supporting this incredible team. Together, we're building something special, and I truly believe the best is yet to come for the Washington Commanders. Thanks for being with me today, and I'll see you next time with more of the latest news, analysis, and inside stories from the NFL.